This Scorpio full moon that follows the Aries new moon total solar eclipse that we are experiencing today, the 23rd of April, just 3 days after our Jupiter-Uranus conjunction, 1 day after Earth Day. We have so many different lessons that are being asked to be seen on a collective and individual level right now. Scorpio pretty much deals with all of the things that are hidden, all of the things that we've been trying to shove under the rug, all the things that we've been ignoring, all the things that we've maybe subconsciously learned how to repress without us even knowing it, working on an unconscious level, on a subconscious level. All the skeletons are coming out of the closet. People are getting called out in their relationships. Scorpio is associated with our ability to connect with other people, our ability to merge souls with others, our innate ability, our innate desire. All of us have that desire to connect with others. It's not something we have to be ashamed of, not something we have to be afraid of admitting. So Scorpio paired with this Jupiter-Uranus conjunction is Uranus is shakeups. Jupiter is expanding upon this big shakeup, this new 14-year cycle that Jupiter-Uranus conjunction initiated. So maybe thinking back to what it was that you set your intention around the new moon in Aries, the eclipse. And even if you didn't set an intention, just thinking back to what the energy felt like for you, what point of your journey you were maybe even subconsciously asking for change in. And now you're getting it. Whether you want it or not, whether your ego wants it or not, you're getting the change that you need in order to evolve, in order to be reborn. Scorpio represents the cycle of dying and being reborn. It's that Ouroboros, the snake eating its own tail. It's the phoenix rising from its own ashes. And with the full moon, we're being illuminated in all those places that we like to keep hidden. All those places that we keep away from the public eye because we seem to think that vulnerability equals weakness. Scorpio deals with intimacy. Into me I see. So we are being shown the mirror, the reflection in others and in our relationships, where it is that we need to change, where it is that there's a spot on our mirror, so we're going to polish that mirror, we're going to rub it, and we could either choose to be rubbed wrong, or we could thank this situation. Thank you for making it clear for me. Thank you for showing me where it is that I had a smudge that I needed to polish my own mirror. Surrendering the ego. Surrendering what is no longer in control, what we no longer have control over. This full moon is in Scorpio, which is ruled by Pluto, which is also squaring the full moon. So we have full moon in Scorpio being squared by Pluto. Pluto is in Aquarius. We're being liberated, Aquarius. We are rebelling against whatever it was that a power dynamic of some sort that was keeping us stuck. Fixed water. Scorpio is fixed water. What are those stuck, frozen emotions that maybe we forgot we're even there? We've gotten so good at repressing it that we literally started to think, oh, maybe I just won't ever have to deal with this. Wrong. We are being forced. We are being pushed over the cliff, like that meme that you might have seen around, that's like the two girls, one of them's in a wheelchair, the other girl's pushing the girl in the wheelchair, and she's like, I think I'm ready. The girl in the wheelchair says, I think I'm ready to just relax and integrate this part of my journey and see what happens from here. And then the girl who's pushing her just like pushes her off this cliff, and she's supposed to be this the universe being like, psych, here's the next level, psych, here you thought you could rest. No. Ready or not, the ghosts are coming out, the goblins, the ghouls, the creepy crawlies. Scorpio is represented by the scorpion, which is most likely a sight that most people would be alarmed to see, would strike, fear and worry and concern in their hearts when they see a scorpion. But how often do you really see scorpions, right? Like, they are these beings that will hide themselves underneath rocks, underneath logs, underneath things in order to keep themselves safe. We have the Aries solar eclipse new moon that started this cycle, and now we are at the culmination point of the full moon in Scorpio. Aries and Scorpio are both ruled by Mars. Mars is the planet of action, and it's the planet of masculinity, masculine energy, penetrative energy, taking action, taking initiative. With this new moon in Aries that we had, I talked a little bit about how we could have these pains coming up with Chiron right on the new moon. We could have had these pains coming up around how much pain it has been, how painful it has been to have to be so independent, to have to not have anyone to rely on, to not have anyone to support you. Scorpio has that as well. Scorpio has that tendency to self-isolate, to keep themselves hidden so that they don't have to experience any hurt, to keep themselves protected. We could be sitting with that. And so what ultimately that fear is, that behavior of keeping yourself safe, keeping yourself hidden, ultimately points to this deep fear of intimacy. Scorpio rules intimacy. You can't have intimacy without vulnerability. You just can't. It's not even real if you don't have vulnerability and you say, here's my heart, here's part of my heart, here's a part of me for you to hold. The Aries new moon initiated all of us into being able to stand on our own 2 feet, to being able to have the courage to heal what it is that's no longer serving us, to heal what it is that's standing in the way of our unique divine expression as humans incarnated in this lifetime on this earth right now. So collectively and individually, we're facing this fear of intimacy where our entire culture has built themselves on this capitalistic and this Christian influenced behavior and structure of social norms, which includes pointing out everybody else's problems and condemning them for them. It includes counting on you to feel inadequate from the get-go. Like you need something else, some outside validation to make you whole. And it is this overly masculine, I don't need anyone, it's every man for themselves, it's a dog-eat-dog world, may the best man win, rat race lifestyle. Right now we have Venus out of the sky. She is not visible in the sky right now because she is being blocked out by the light of the sun. Which means she is in her death process. She is in a process of dying and traveling to the underworld in her myth, where she then move through this elaborate dying process in order to then be reborn later, but not without doing the work. So we're being asked to view these Mars themes in a non-toxic masculine lens, in a way that we can hold support for ourselves and for all phases of ourselves, even the parts of us that are scary and we've kept hidden, and we have decided that no one could love us if they saw this part of us. Who could love us if they saw this part of us? That's the part we hold space for. That's the part where we have enough strength and courage to face and hold space for. And we protect ourselves from any more pain that could be accumulated through the process of self-criticism, negative self-talk, any of that stuff where we're putting ourselves down, we're feeling inadequate, we're telling ourselves that just because we're not perfect, that we're not good enough. But that's the art of Scorpio's medicine, is learning how to zoom out from this death and rebirth process that is constantly and continuously occurring in our lives, in the lives of the greater whole, in the earth. The day I'm filming this is Earth Day, the day before this full moon, and there's just a lot of Aries anger still lingering, even though we moved into Taurus season, Taurus sun. And I would say that's pretty accurate as far as Taurus as well, because Taurus is fixed earth. Scorpio, fixed water, Taurus, fixed earth, are on the opposite sides of the spectrum. And when you try to tell a Taurus to change, they're not gonna do it. They are set in their ways. They are stubborn AF. And they can be stubborn for the right reasons, or they can be stubborn for the wrong reasons. Oh, I see the deer across the way. I knew they were here. I could feel their energy, but I didn't see them. Okay, cool. I wonder what that giant cracking of a log was over there. Anyways, deer medicine, for those of you that resonate with that message, here they are. Deer are a beautiful symbol of earth. They are so gentle, and they move with grace and patience and agility, and they just have this like soft energy. They have this feminine energy. Taurus, ruled by Venus, and the Jupiter-Uranus conjunction occurring in Taurus as well. So we have all of these themes happening. Lots of Taurus energy, but Taurus has the horns. Just like Aries does with the ram, Taurus is the bull with horns as well. So we still have that butting heads possibility. Very possible. And then you throw Scorpio in the mix with its stinger, we got a bunch of we got a bunch of weapons and potentially destructive defensive mechanisms. So it really shouldn't be people think of Taurus season, oh, let's go lay in the grass, let's go eat some drink some tea and crumpets, like let's go live in luxury and lounge about in the grass and in the flowers, and just be lazy and soak up the sun. And like, what about this other side of Taurus where we overindulge and we let greed and selfishness and comfort stop us from growing, right? Taurus loves that comfort zone. Not as much as Cancer, but Taurus doesn't want to do what he told him to do. He wants to do what it wants to do. Fixed Earth. It already made up its mind. So sorry, you're SOL. Ain't budging. But when Taurus takes up arms for the right reasons, such as fiercely protecting the earth, protecting family, Taurus is very devoted, very loyal, very loving, very affectionate, very much about the senses and being pleasurable in the realm of sensing. So our touch, our taste, our smell, our sight, and our hearing. I always forget one. So we can be asked to counteract this Scorpio intensity with some grounding practices, with some sustainable indulgences, reminding ourselves that we are absolutely worth it. We are worth this journey of enduring the death process in order to get to the other side of the rebirth. We are absolutely worth the hard work that we're doing. I see your hard work. We're changing. We are changing. Pluto moves so slow. Pluto in Aquarius, you know, everybody's so hyped up on that this year. Pluto moves so slow. It's going to be such an ask of patience. Patience, Taurus. You see a cow, right? You've seen cows. They're just walking real slow. They're not really in that much of a hurry. Yeah, they can get excited and they can start to like bounce around and dance around and do whatever, but 9 times out of 10, they're moving pretty slow. They're chilling. They have patience. That is a medicine that we can ask Taurus for. Our idea of society and the way that we have demonized codependency and demonized attachments and demonized our innate human ability and need and desire to feel connected to others, to need another person to reflect to us what it is that we can't see. We can only heal so much on our own. We can only heal so much that we ourselves can see consciously, and we need the other person or the other people or whatever situation to reflect to us what it is that we're missing. So I'm going to leave this recommendation down below. This book called Attached. It's really, really mind-blowing information about the dynamics between human beings and where our needs for dependency and needs for closeness and intimacy are programmed into our brains from so long ago, from our caveman days, right? Like whenever we were cavemen, if we didn't have anybody there to support us and to be there with us in the wilderness, in the wild, in the harsh environments, we were more likely to be prey. We were more likely to die. So our brains developed in a way that caused us to become attached to people because we were more likely to survive with those attachments than without them. So next time you're blaming yourself or belittling yourself for needing affection, being needy, being codependent, all these things, just know that that's just your brain working normally. That's just your survival system kicking in. And if you're constantly living in that threatened system state, you're not thriving fully. You're not thriving in a way that you would be thriving if there was someone behind you supporting you, someone that's patting you on the back saying, go you, reaffirming you, just generally being there for you, someone you get to share things with. And when we have that, we have this permission to step out into the scary world and to live more fully and to step into our higher power and to step into our highest expression, our divine expression that's being called out of us, that our soul knows we're here to accomplish. So what I would say this full moon is eliminating any sort of attachments that aren't serving us, that aren't actually rooted in true intimacy. And that can be super scary and super shocking. Uranus, Jupiter. Yeah, super shocking. That's Jupiter, Uranus, super Jupiter, Uranus, shocking. That about tracks. Really being gentle with yourself. Becoming more intimate with yourself. Aries is you. Aries new moon is you and yourself and your journey. Scorpio is intimacy, where you being asked to become more intimate with yourself so that you know yourself so much that if anything comes to threaten who you are or stand in the way or cause you to self-betray or cause you to self-sabotage, you say no. We don't do that. We don't do that around here. We don't self-betray. We don't self-sabotage. We don't play small. Bottom line, don't be afraid of what's hiding in the shadows. Don't be a coward when it comes to turning towards the pain and the hurt and the wound and the ugly truth. Don't be afraid, because the truth will set you free. I hope you guys have a good full moon, a cheery full moon in Scorpio. I hope you can find some time to feel true intimacy and to feel connected and to feel the soul merging ecstasy that can come with Scorpio being in its higher expression. And to that, I will close this out. Thank you guys. Hang in there.